If you ever want to protect yourself from being cheated on, if you ever want to make betrayal something that can't touch you, you have to understand something very few people are brave enough to accept. The power is not in controlling others. The power is not in spying, testing, or playing games to keep someone loyal. The real power is in becoming the kind of person who simply cannot be cheated on. Not because people won't try, but because your presence, your energy, your self-respect will never allow it to continue undetected. And the moment you know you walk with grace, with peace, with clarity. You don't scream, you don't beg, you simply say, "This is where I end, and you no longer get access to me." Because betrayal doesn't destroy the one who knows who they are. It destroys the one who needed lies to feel loved. When you become rooted in your truth, nothing false can survive around you. But to get there, you have to stop putting all your focus on the other person. Stop obsessing over red flags. Stop playing detective. Stop living in fear. Turn the mirror on yourself. Ask, who am I when I'm in love? Do I abandon myself to keep others close? Do I have boundaries that I actually enforce? Do I listen to my intuition, or do I silence it to avoid pain? Because most of the time, it's not that we didn't see the betrayal coming. It's that we saw it and chose to ignore it. Why? Because we were scared of being alone. Because we wanted to believe in their potential. Because we confused chemistry with character. But listen to me carefully. Potential is not a promise, and chemistry is not commitment. You become someone who can't be cheated on when you no longer stay where you are unloved. Not for a second, not for a breadcrumb, not even for history. Now let's talk about women, real women, the kind who want to build, not play, the kind who lead with heart, not games. These women are powerful. They are rare, and too often they are overlooked. Because we live in a generation where ease is prioritized over depth, where swiping is easier than solving, where ghosting is more common than growing, where desire is confused with value. A good-hearted woman, one who leads with purity and intention, will often feel unseen in a world addicted to surface. She's not the loudest in the room. She's not the most revealing. She's not the most dramatic, but she carries peace. Wisdom, a love that can build nations, yet many men don't see it. Because they're not looking for real, they're looking for distraction. And when these men are forced into commitment, whether by time, pressure, or guilt, they do something tragic. They enter the relationship physically, but emotionally, they remain distant. They wear the title of boyfriend or husband, but inside, they still crave freedom, not freedom to avoid accountability. They begin to resent what should be sacred, your love, your care, your effort. They grow annoyed when you want quality time. They get irritated when you ask for emotional presence. They pull away when you express your needs, not because you're wrong, but because they're not ready. This is why I say a man not ready for love will see a good woman as a burden. Some men don't want a partner. They want a puppet. They want submission without understanding. They want loyalty without reciprocation. They want your softness without earning your trust. But love isn't control. Love is not about obedience. It's about oneness. It's about choosing each other again and again with eyes wide open. Let me speak to the men who give everything. Some of you were raised by women who carried everything. You saw them cry in silence. You watched them work, serve, love, and break, and it did something to you. It made you vow, "I will protect the women I love. I will never let her suffer like my mother did." So you became the savior, the fixer, the provider.
But hear me. You can't save someone from themselves. You can help. You can support. You can inspire, but healing is not something you can do for them. And when you try, when you carry everything, you lose yourself. And worse, they may resent you for it, because people want to feel capable. And to feel capable. And when you erase all their problems, you also erase their growth. You think you're loving them. But what you're really doing is saying, you can't do this without me. And that message, it creates silent resentment. Let me break your heart so you can heal. Many men choose broken women so they can feel needed. They love her trauma. They love that she's dependent. They love that they are the hero. But what happens when she heals? She leaves, not because she doesn't appreciate you, but because she no longer wants to be reminded of who she used to be. And in her eyes, you are the symbol of her broken chapter. It's not fair, but it happens. And women listen to, you stay, you support, you wait, you believe, you think, once he heals, he'll finally love me right. But healing doesn't guarantee loyalty. Sometimes healing brings clarity, and the person you loved from the bottom of your soul walks away once they find themselves, because now they want someone who didn't witness their darkness. They want a fresh start. This is the tragedy of unconditional love that lacks discernment. You think your loyalty is building a future, but sometimes it's just delaying the end. People don't always stay where they healed. They stay where they grow. So grow together. Don't just hold each other in pain. Evolve. Transform. Level up. Learn. Because when love becomes just a safe space to break and not a sacred space to build, it eventually feels heavy. Let me pause here. Because this is deep. This is spiritual. This is ancestral. You are not just healing for yourself. You are healing your lineage. You are healing your lineage. When you choose better, when you love consciously, when you set boundaries, you are ending patterns that destroyed generations before you. You are changing the definition of love for your children. So stop settling. Stop saving people who don't want to be saved. Stop calling pain loyalty. Saved. Stop calling pain loyalty. And above all, stop thinking that being cheated on means you weren't enough. Sometimes people cheat because they are empty. Sometimes they cheat because they lack integrity. Sometimes they cheat because they are afraid of the very love they asked for. It's not always about you. But if you stay after betrayal, that becomes about you. You teach people how to love you by what you accept. Raise your standard and your pain will lower. Real love isn't chaotic. It isn't a roller coaster. It isn't pain disguised as passion. Real love is peace. It's clarity. It's presence. It's two souls choosing each other daily, not because they need to, but because they want to. But in today's world, most people are chasing sparks, not stability. They confuse adrenaline with alignment. They think the butterflies mean it's real. But sometimes those butterflies, they're just your nervous system warning you. This feels familiar and unsafe. You want to build something real? Something that lasts? Then first, you must dismantle every lie you've been told about what love is supposed to feel like. Because love isn't supposed to hurt. Growth might. Healing might. Letting go might. But love, real love, nourishes. You will know love by how safe your soul feels in their presence. And safety doesn't mean perfection. It means honesty. It means communication. It means conflict with compassion and disagreements without disrespect. It means you stop walking on eggshells. You stop hiding your truth. You stop pretending just to keep the peace, because the kind of love you're looking for cannot breathe in silence. Too many people stay silent. They don't express what they feel. They don't speak their boundaries. They smile while slowly dying inside.
And eventually they explode, or shut down, or cheat, or leave. Not because the love wasn't real, but because their voice was never welcome. Love dies not because people change, but because people never felt seen enough to be themselves. So if you want real love, love that expands, not contracts, you must be willing to do something rare, be fully seen, and fully see them. Drop the masks, the roles, the performance. Stop trying to impress. Start trying to understand. Love is not about finding someone perfect. Love is about finding someone willing to try, to learn, to grow, to stay present even when it's hard, because there will be hard moments. There will be misunderstandings. There will be hurt feelings, triggered wounds, misread intentions. But those moments don't destroy real love. They reveal it. If your love cannot survive conflict, it was built on convenience, not commitment. So how do you build a love that lasts? You start with truth. Truth about who you are. Truth about what you need. Truth about what you need. Truth about your triggers, your past, your wounds, your desires.
You give them a map to your heart, and then you ask for theirs. You listen deeply, without defense. You stop trying to win. You start trying to connect. Because in love, the goal isn't to be right. The goal is to be aligned in vision, in values, in emotional maturity.
And if you're not aligned, don't force it. Don't shrink to fit. Don't beg them to rise. Some people are only meant to teach you what you don't want. Some loves were only meant to awaken you, not walk with you. Let them go. Let them go. Because every time you say yes to less than you deserve, you delay the love that does. And what does that love look like? It looks like peace after a long storm. It looks like laughter in places that once held silence. It looks like being held, not only physically but emotionally. It looks like someone who doesn't run when it gets heavy, someone who asks how they can love you better, not why you're too much. It looks like growth, like prayer, like progress, like mutual effort, like we're in this together. You don't have to chase that kind of love. You just have to become it. You attract what you're ready for. You keep what you're aligned with. You lose what you've outgrown. So work on you. Build your emotional awareness. Build your patterns. Heal your wounds. Stop blaming everyone who hurt you and start asking, why did I stay? Why did I stay? What did I tolerate? Where did I abandon myself? Because the version of you that allowed that love is not the version of you that's ready for the next one. Grow, glow, grieve if you must. But don't stop. Your person is not in your past. They are ahead, waiting, evolving, healing, just like you. And one day you will meet them, not because you begged the wrong one to stay, but because you loved yourself enough to walk away. The moment you choose you, truly, deeply, unapologetically, the universe rearranges itself to meet you in that truth. That is the love that builds, not breaks. That is the love that mirrors your growth. That is the love that can only exist when you've become it first. The journey is within, and when you finally come home to yourself, you'll find them standing there, right on time.